Good morning, Mr. Finn and students that are present here for this HSC study day. Today I am going to present to you what I believe are the major ideas and features that Ross presents in his film, Pleasantville. Themes such as black and white versus colour and change. There are an array of techniques used in the film Pleasantville such as colour, diegetic music, sound effects, and camera angles. The first idea that I'm going to present to you is change. Change actively occurs throughout the film in various situations, but change mainly occurs when a person goes through a sudden conversion that defies their generic norm of behaviour or emotion. This is presented for the first time when Bud had told Skip that Mary Sue would not date him. Skip retaliated by telling Bud that he wouldn't know what to do if Mary Sue wouldn't go out with him. Afterwards, Skip shot a basketball at a hoop and it bounced directly off of the hoop, which disrupted the generic perfect score that the basketball players are supposed to achieve. Whereas, the first feature of colour that is shown in the film is after Skip had participated in sexual intercourse with Mary Sue. Whilst driving home, he noticed a red rose. Never seeing the colour red, or any colour in particular, that made him questionative about what it was. Within the same scene, there is a camera angle feature that zooms in to focus Skip, showing that he had discovered a change of colour apart from black and white. Sound effects are a dynamic feature used in the film. They help the viewer understand when an instance of change is about, or to give a dramatic feel to a situation. An obvious sound effect is the lightning strike used in the film when David and the TV repairman both mention Pleasantville. What I believe is another strong display of colour change is when Betty is being abused by some boys after they saw the naked painting of her outside the milk bar. When Bud notices that Betty is being abused, he rushes towards the boys and punches one in the face. Shocked as the boys are introduced to physical violence for the first time, they run away. Bud, shocked at the sudden change that just occurred to him, looked at his mother's mirror and saw that he was now coloured. This example is a fantastic definition of the change within the movie Pleasantville, and I have no doubt that the director Gary Ross had intended it to be that way. Music was a big factor that came with the burst of change within the film. When the people had started to change to more modern 90s generic norms and actions, this type of evolution within Pleasantville caused them to have a sudden jump through time and initiated a permanent change within Pleasantville. The song Teddy Bear by Elvis Presley was played when Pleasantville had become mostly colour. This showed the strong sense of change for a classic toned-down early 1950s genre of music to a rebellious mid-50s rock genre. The theme of black and white versus colour is an original and widely dynamic theme in the movie Pleasantville. Black and white versus colour is shown at the very start of the film when the TV advertisement of Pleasantville is shown. The colour change rapidly switches between black and white and colour within the same advertisement to show the televisions within the 1950s were black and white. The change from black and white to colour at the end of this advertisement depicts a change to a more modern scene to enhance the want for the viewers to feel like they need to watch more to understand what is going on. This is a strategy used to rope people into wanting to watch more so they do not get distracted or bored. A strong representation of the idea black and white versus colour is when David and Jennifer are sucked into the world of Pleasantville through the television. This first scene shows us the strong difference between the generic 1990s home and an average home in the 1950s. Black and white versus colour enhances the viewer's understanding of the differences between the two worlds and how different the world can be after a few decades. The scene where Skip sees the red rose after having intercourse with Mary Sue not only displays a change of colour and music, but it also helps to portray the idea that Skip had participated in something that was out of his comfort level and that it was changing Pleasantville. What I believe is the greatest example of black and white versus colour is during the courtroom trial, when Big Bob decided to yell at Bud. In conclusion, I believe that Gary Ross was trying to use strong themes and techniques to achieve an ultimate understanding of the challenges and differences that occur over time no matter if they're hate related to a group of people, or if something doesn't feel like something that should be occurring. I believe he tried to portray that everything changes over time, and we need to learn to accept and adapt these changes. Thank you.